Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing some Christmas sign ideas, and as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. This is a great sign to make for Christmas because you can leave it up all through winter. And it is a stencil for like $1 from Temu, so cheap. So I bought this spray adhesive, and when I read the directions, how toxic it was, causes cancer, I thought, oh, forget it. We're going for the glue stick. This was a hack I tried, and I had never tried before, and I was so happy with the results. So I just put plenty of glue stick down, and I was slopping on the paint here. I was totally not being careful because I really didn't think this was going to work. I thought I was going to have to toss it, and you're going to see the results here in a minute. But the trick to this hack is definitely leaving the glue wet still when you lift it up so that it doesn't form a skin and take the paint with it. I did have a little bit of touch up to do, and I just scraped it off using a utility knife and a permanent marker, but compared to what I would have had to deal with, at least with me, I don't have good luck with stencils unless they stick down. It was like 150% improvement. So that's a great trick to help you with your stencils. So on either side of the stencil, I just added 2 snowmen. I really wanted to keep them simple here. No big deal. Just 2 snowballs. In fact, at first I was thinking I just wanted to do snowballs, but I ended up doing snowmen. No hats, no scarves, really simple. Just a face with a carrot nose, a little mouth, some buttons. Totally just winter so that I could carry it through Christmas to winter. Really love the way this one came out. I think it looks store-bought, and that's it for this project. I'd love to know what you think. For this next one, I have this free printable for you. In fact, all the printables are down below in my description box for this video, so you can go down there to get them if you want to print these up at home. And I just started off with a Dollar Tree round. They sell these every year, it seems like, for each season. You can always find a round, and I painted it white. After I painted it white, I realized I needed to make it a little bit darker to match the print. See how the print is more like that color? Turns out the color Waverly chalk paint in plaster is almost a perfect match for this, so that's what I went with. And then I just took my little fingers and nibbled around the edge. I tried using water, but with tissue paper it does go a little bit too deep, so it was making the ink run, so I just ended up doing it dry with my fingers. And the next step I took to bring this all together was to grab the color pewter gray and a baby white, and I just go around the edges here. You'll see me doing it. I'm just kind of rubbing it kind of haphazardly, I guess, and blending it all in, and it ends up coming together beautifully. Someone actually told me this had a pirate vibe to it, and I thought that's true. It kind of looks like that time period. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean. But this would be perfect if you had like a little knick-knack store with old-fashioned antiques or Christmas decor. So cute. Took the color nutmeg, again from Apple Barrel Paint, gave it a border, put down a bow with this black and white buffalo print, and then this bow here was left over from another Dollar Tree craft. I thought it was really cute, so I kept it, and it had black beads at the bottom. Again, wanted to keep this one really, really simple. This is staying up through Christmas and winter. And then I used this really pretty vine. It had like black ribbon or silky string with it with green leaves. It tied it in perfectly, glued it down, put duct tape over it, and that's it. We're all done for this one. This is a great little Christmas sign that I found at the Dollar Tree. So cute, and a lot of people wanted me to do something with this, so I ended up making a new border. It's the frame, you guys. It looks too dime store-ish. So I decided to take my paint sticks. These are some special paint sticks that I ordered from Amazon. The link is down below. It doesn't have the curvature at the end. It makes it straight and you don't waste as much wood. And I'm using my little saw. If you want to know how to get this saw, it is tagged in my products. So if you pause the video, you'll see like a lower left-hand corner. This is products, and you can click on that and it will have a drop-down menu. If you can't find it, you can also go to my description box, click more. Down below, a drop-down menu will appear, and there's some links there as well that show you all the products I'm using and how to get them. So some of you might remember that sign I made, how I kind of made a faux copper metal bar on the top of it last year. And this year I thought it'd be fun to do the same exact thing. And all you do is take your hot glue gun and make little curlicues, and just literally, you can't mess it up. If you mess it up, you can peel it off and start again. It is that simple, and it's a lot of fun to do. And then I take a dark green. You could use a regular green if you wanted to. I just kind of like the darker army green, I guess. And I think this is actually called Christmas tree green or pine tree green. I think it's from Apple Barrel Paint. And then I dry it, take some white paint, do a dry brush on it, and it creates a really beautiful finish. So to deal with the actual print, because it did look like a magazine page and I thought that made it look kind of cheap, I just did a really, really dry brush of white paint all over every single section of the page to get rid of the shine. And then after that, I did a dry brush that actually did leave some white streaks behind, because I did want this sign distressed, because it is a barn scene there with the barn. So I thought it would look a little bit better, not looking brand spanking new. And then I glued the frame around the edges, and it came up really nice. So this sign was a little bit longer than the paint sticks, and I just took my saw and cut like a sliver off, like literally just a tiny, tiny strip. You could even sand this if you had really, really rough sandpaper. You could sand that off, but what an improvement. Look at that already. I mean, it looks like a much nicer sign. And I decided I wanted to have this on a shelf, so I needed it to stand up. So I just took some ribbon, I glued the ribbon onto the paint stick, and I had cut the paint stick down to the right size. And you don't glue the paint stick to it, you just glue the ribbon to the paint stick, and then you glue the ribbon to the back of the sign all the way around the paint stick, and that way you'll be able to move and bend the paint stick. It's flexible, see, like that, and you'll be able to stand it up. And that's it for this project. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, this was a fun one. I used a Dollar Tree big plastic round flat tray, took it outside, spray painted it, and then I got this stencil for like $1.50 from Temu, and I am blow drying it down to make it take shape. Then I do the glue stick trick, and here's where I learned how to do it properly. So this is what will happen, and I left it in here so you guys can see what will happen if you dry it too much. So I go crazy and I dry the glue because I think, yeah, I'm going to get this to stick down really, really good. And then I go ahead about my business and I start stenciling, and then just what I said in the very first project, I lifted it up and it had a skin because the glue was so dry that it took it up, just like dry paint. It took it up and it took the paint with it. So I had a lot of touch-up work to do, and it was only my second time, to be fair, using the glue stick, so it was definitely a learning curve. I knew there was going to be some learning curves, but to prevent this from happening, make sure when you put the glue stick down, you keep it slightly tacky and wet, do your paint right away, and then lift it up right away before it dries really good. Also, I should have cut the stencil in a circle, or just used a real wood round that was flat, or use a smaller stencil, because the way the stencil was, I remember thinking if I cut it round, then I'll lose the edge there, that black border that you see on the stencil. But anyway, it came up good. I saved the day with a paint pen in different colors. Now I'm taking antique wax. I did the edge, and see how the wax kind of stuck to the glue that was on the edge there, and it looks more like wood grain. I think that is a future craft hack. Heard first here on Hot Humble Pie. I'm going to be experimenting with glue stick to see if I can use it to make wood grain look even more authentic with the wax. So I glue a bow, pine, hanger, totally worth the extra work. I love the way this came out. It looks like a little wood round to me. Let me know what you think. this next one's another fun one. The famous Dollar Tree calendar signs. Oh my gosh, if you can find good calendars at Dollar Tree, they are such an inexpensive way to get a really nice quality print where it comes up really bright. But the problem we used to have back in the day when everybody was hunting for the calendar is that the numbers would show through because people would Mod Podge it down, including myself, and you would see calendar numbers and it would ruin it. Someone came on and said, oh, you can paint the back of the calendar black, but then that made the image dark. It was a great tip, and I was grateful. But lo and behold, I wish I had thought of a glue stick back then, because the glue stick is the answer. Absolutely. It eliminates that problem altogether. It's a dry enough glue where nothing comes through. So I use my glue stick, I glue it down, and then I'm just touching up the edge here with a little bit of beige apple barrel paint. And then I'm going to blow dry that and see the wood beads on the side. Those are half beads. I personally love the bead look. I don't care if it's 20 years from now, I think I will always love that look. It just makes signs look cute to me when you put the wood beads on. They get heavier, they look more expensive. So I go ahead and I cover the entire edge with wood beads, and that's what it looks like when we're all done. I'm taking a ticking stripe ribbon I got from Amazon. I tied the center with a little bit of twine so that I could glue a primitive star to it and not worry about it falling off. And then I put a hanger on. I decide to do this brown ribbon. It's almost like burlap, but not quite. And it has some white in it. It almost looks like rope to me. Nice for a change. Glued it down, used some duct tape. Same old trick, you know the drill. It works really, really well. And that's it. Super easy and elegant. For this project, you're going to need a charger plate from the Dollar Tree, and I gave it 2 coats of chalk paint in the color Cottage White by Folklore. I'm drying it really thoroughly in between each one, and this is a free printable I made that we'll be working with in this project. I did the glue stick, but this time I did something a little bit different. I didn't want to go outside and give it a clear coat of varnish. What I usually recommend if you do not want your imagery to wrinkle is to give it just a light mist of varnish. Now I recommend this because usually I just buy a gloss varnish or a polyacrylic in gloss clear and spray paint it 2 or 3 times and I'm done. I don't do Mod Podge at all, and then I never have to worry about wrinkles, and it looks just like Mod Podge was on it. But for this one I did want to do Mod Podge, so I wanted to try hairspray because I didn't want to go outside. I think at the time it was either raining or it was getting dark. So I end up thinking, okay, Holly, this is a great time to put this to the test. And I did 3 coats of hairspray, drying thoroughly in between. So I had 3 coats of hairspray on there. Then I put some antique wax. It did make the image a little bit yellow, you guys, which I didn't really mind because it kind of looks like a vintage antique image you're trying to preserve or something on a new surface. I kind of like the contrast sometimes, but look how much Mod Podge I put on, you guys. Look at that. I'm taking it off to show you I completely screwed up the test, because normally you would not put gobs and gobs. Look, I'm like, finally, there you go. Yeah, considering how much I drenched it and how long it took me to get that off, it barely, just maybe had some lines here and there, which easily came out with me pressing a wet sponge on it. So I would say, yes, the hairspray works. Definitely shields it. You can use it in a pinch. Just go light on the Mod Podge like a normal person would. And I gave it a good dry. And look at how cute this came out, you guys. You could put this on a shelf, on an entry table, on the kitchen counter. Look at that. It's just classic. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, here's another one I think you'll enjoy watching next.